Look around you, where you are right now. As you're watching this, look around your house. There are tools you have you're not using that can actually fetch you a whole lot of funds.
Forget about what people are saying. Don't listen to what people are saying. What people say about you or think about you is none of your business.
Many entrepreneurs want to build a business at the same time feed from the business. It cannot work. In Lagos,
but you just get to do something. Stop waiting for manna to fall from heaven.
never you at any point think you have 100% strength. It's not possible. So as a leader, you focus on your strength 100%, then your weakness, you get someone to fill it in. Now, the person you are bringing in, ensure that the person's weakness is your strength.
You have to come with something to the table. So what are you coming with as a woman? What are you bringing? Is it your intellect? Is it your beauty? We all know that beauty doesn't help anybody. If not, I'll be where Dangote is today.
Please, if you are listening to me, don't try and sell what is not sellable if you don't have the funds to push it.
Thank you for connecting with Simeon Ononobi today. Live sessions hold every Tuesday and Friday at 5 p.m. Please turn on post notifications for live updates.
Everyone, this is Connect with Simeon, and I say this is hustle to the max, and that is what we'll do here. We tell everyone how the hustle happens, what's happening around the world, and we try and showcase the best of the best of the best. It is high time we change the narrative from Africa is full of this or Africa is full of that to Africa is full of success. Africa is full of intelligent, great minds that can actually change our own economies. Today I have a lovely, lovely guest. He is someone you need to hear. I mean, transitioning for the past 15 years to, the and working with different organizations and all that to set up a successful company, a company that just recently got awarded numerous prizes and some cash prizes. And he's just doing awesome things. He's doing a lot of awesome stuff. He's in the studio already. We're prepping to bring him up. So get your popcorn, get your notes, get your pen as usual, and write as much as you can, because you can just keep learning so that you can actually become successful. And that is what this show is all about. It is to bring the best of the best. Today also, I will be cutting in midway and I'll be launching some new stuff. So a partner of ours, Coffee Hut, down in Lekki, is going to be giving out lunch today. I mean, chicken wraps sent directly to your doorstep through the Thank You Cash app. So if you don't have the Thank You Cash app, get it right now, because I'll be announcing it in a bit. Only 10 people will be sent lunch from Coffee Hut. Only 10. So you have to be on the show. Make sure you stay around. For now, Coffee Hut is around Lekki. So you probably live around the Koi, VI, Lekki, and you will get lunch from Coffee Hut. So grab your pen and paper while I get Salami into the house. Salami, welcome. I mean, getting Salami is hustle. It's already a hustle in itself to get Salami into the show. Salami, thanks for coming into the studios today. Thank you very much. Salami, can you hear us?
Thank you. Happy to be here, Simeon.
Cool.
Yeah, I can hear you loud and clear. Can you hear me?
Yes, perfectly. Thank you for making it into the studio. I hear it was hustle for you because you have to pass through traffic. You have to hop on this and hop on that. just to get into the show, but a man of his words, and that's why success is always chasing him around. So Salami is CEO and founder of Ribi, Ribi.me, and I find it fascinating because the first time I heard about Ribi, I think I was with the Bank of Industry CEO, and I was talking about fintech in Nigeria, and he says, "Have you seen what Ribi is doing?" And I'm like, "Oh, okay, okay, I need to check these guys out." And from there, it has been like sailing. I knew you went to China. You were part of Alibaba's e-founders fellowship. You were actually one of the lead guys. You've taken the lead in so many things. But let's start from yesterday. People know today you're successful. Today you run this, wonderful big company. Let's start from where you started from. Like, what was yesterday like? How did you start? How did you transition from where you are, so that people listening can, get a feel of what it is?
Thank you, Simeon, and good to be here. And wonderful work you guys are doing as well. I try to make it as simple as possible, and I mean, I'm one of the lucky ones, and I've said this multiple times. I very much, I think pretty much when I was 19 or so, I already knew what I wanted to do, or 17. So I've been on the path to creating solutions that solve real problems, either in the area of technology or literally I've designed a transport company before, as far back as 2004, when there's no logistics or there's no mobility company, right? I've thought about, okay, how do we buy mini buses and ship it down to OAU campus to run, they call it Tangboro in OAU, right? They take it from the town and bring it onto the campus and back to town. So I've gone from those days of very humble beginning of thinking about real solutions to very simple basic problems, all the way to working in a technology company that automates power systems, and we rolled out automated meter reading, geographic information system, billing across the entire power sector, literally. So yeah, I've gone to all those extremes. So yeah. If you want me to go into a little more detail about sort of that journey, I mean, it kind of transitioned from thinking about what I wanted to do, which was very clearly about building stuff. And the first thing I wanted to build, as far as I can remember, was I wanted to build a medical device that you walk into this medical device, or you use it to touch your body, whatever the case might be. It was literally working, and you come out treated, like an ATM for human treatment. Like that, literally, that was what was in my mind. This was 2002, 2003. And I'm like, okay, I need to be a medical doctor, be a computer engineer, electronics, electrical engineer, and then build that massive machine. But I got saved before I ran down that rabbit hole. And, I learned that you just need to be an entrepreneur and an organizer, someone that can put together the right resources to create the needed product, and you can solve a lot of problems. And that's what I've done pretty much over the last 15 years. Worked in a media company for about 4 years, worked in consulting generally, and in a consulting firm, and also my own practice for about 3 years. Worked in a technology company for almost another 4 years doing power automation. And, oh, by the way, media industry, I was doing filmmaking, advertisement, training actors, directors. So it's the whole 9 yards. If you think about it, I've sold renewable energy before, renewable energy products, solar panel, batteries. This was in Abuja, 2009. Like I said, I've trained filmmakers or worked in the company that trained filmmakers in partnership with New York Film Academy, all the way down to finally, leading a team to roll out the, automated power systems automation across, the national grid and 1 or 2 distribution companies here in Nigeria. So yeah, that's sort of my very interesting journey, and I'll let your questions lead the way in which part of this journey you want me to talk about.
Wow, like, I mean, it shows something, because today we know Salami Abolore is founder of that great company that's doing some great stuff in fintech, but you have to take like a lot of things from different places to be able to make the whole you. Now, at what point did you figure out that, you know what, I need to do this, I need to do that, just to get those kind of trainings? Because you are almost like a complete human being, if I might say so. at what point do you start, making this complete person that now runs this big company you do?
We're still an SME in the scheme of things by the definition of companies, especially in Nigeria. So we're not a big company yet. We're still a small company, as it were.
Yeah,
we're not yet doing tens of billions of naira in revenue. Yeah, but we're on our way, and I'm hoping that we're going to be able to make our mark and deliver our results. So I have no doubt. But in terms of thinking about sort of your question is how, what led me to these multiple facets.
Yes.
I think I called it the second solver theory, right? I called it the second solver theory. And, it always seems as though there must be one approach. There must be one solution, like the first mover advantage, the first person to get this thing done, like the one that gets it right, Simeon, simple pay. Simeon, thank you, cash. I have to be like Simeon. He has raised millions of dollars. That's the only way to succeed, right? A lot of the time what happens is that people don't see those other sides, right? And so back in Ife, I'm sure you know Okwe Awo, Jobberman. And for some reason, anytime someone asks me a question like that, I always remember my reference point. You have Okwe Awo, you have Tunde Foster, that's Tunde Weye, and a couple of other exciting guys back in my days in OAU, 2006, 2007. These guys were already doing exciting stuff, right? What you call, sexy startup today. These guys were doing this stuff with nothing, with no capital investment, nothing. Okwe was selling .ng domain far back 2007. Traveling to Abuja, leaving campus and saying, I have a flight to catch to Abuja. I just be like, now wow. You'll be like this one day too, Sha. Very, and it does it very humbly. Okwe was never proud, very simple. Dapo Lawal, Dapo was already, Dapo bought a brand new Under Accord or something like that, in like our year 2. And it wasn't Yahoo money. Dapo was literally trading and training people in foreign exchange. I mean, story for another day. But the point there was, I then asked myself, which is the same question I always ask myself today. People see those things and think that is the only way. I'm like, no, not necessarily. There's another route. There's a second solver theory. There's a second approach to solve it. There are many ways. There are many ways to solve, a problem. There are many ways to get to a particular destination. You have to find your own route. And my own route, which I had to learn, was, okay, how do I pick up all the skills that I needed to pick up, at least to start? Number one. Number two, can I work, make enough money, save my salary, and then use that to start my business? If, for example, I can't access capital, which is where you find that a lot of people think that if you cannot raise the millions of dollars, like Paystack and Flutterwave, then you cannot be the fintech company. So that was the core. I mean, so your question as to why, that was what led to it. I'm like, how do I, but one thing was very clear, which is part of why I'm lucky, is I already knew where I was going. So I was looking for the companies that look like where I want to be, that I can work with and learn the things that the entrepreneurs in the companies are doing, which is where I met the likes of Emmanuel Tafa. He was working with CEC Consulting. I met Chuka Moye, the managing partner and founder of CEC Consulting, and just like, okay, so what are they doing? What can I learn? And then I'm like, okay, maybe I need to learn to be a consultant. Those consultants, they always look like they know what they are doing. McKinsey, KPMG, Harvard, see paper. You'd be like, these guys, they have all the answers. I'm like, okay, let me go and do consulting. Then I started consulting. I did consulting 2018, 2019. Then I joined CEC 2010. 2008, 2009, 2010. It looks like a short time ago. It's a long time ago now. 13 years ago. And, in 2010, I then joined CEC Consulting. I'm like, okay, I was supposed to join Alda Consulting. That's Leke Alda. But then I spoke to my friends, like, no, they do more branding. Like, no, I don't want branding. I want the real thing. I want the one that you are talking about, how to do the business plan. So I joined CEC, and that was I think literally half of your NYSC year. I think like 70, like all of Nigeria, half of the NYSC year or 40% of the NYSC year should be to go through some type of training and incubation program in real stuff, like analyst training program, like banker training program, those kind of very deep, mini MBA type programs, which was what I went through in CEC, and now that was In fact, the way I'm able to think structurally about a lot of things today, in as much as that is based on my experience and sort of my drive, but it's also based on a lot of the structural thinking that I picked up back in the days of consulting. So that was very valuable. And then I met, a few of my friends. I also met someone that was very, I was very impressed in terms of how he was doing what he was doing. I mean, I think he's over 40 now, but at the time he was in his early 30s. I mean, when I met Mr. Linus Idahosa, Linus is like, it's like one of those enigmas you find. He knew where he was going. He was driven to get it. You hear stories. Linus will tell you stories of how he was using Okada to go and submit proposal for people to come and do CNN adverts. 10 years before I had met him, and at the time he was already in partnership with New York Film Academy to train 400 filmmakers in Nigeria for a month at $3,000 per month per candidate.
Wow.
So you can imagine you want to, meet with those kind of people and say, how did you do that? How did you come up with that? What did you learn? And I mean, I ended up working with him for almost 4 years, learned quite a lot. I mean, how to deal at every level, literally how to deal with a business, how to deal with a ministry, how to deal with a state, how to deal with the federal government, how to deal with an international company, how to build relationships. Learned a lot in those 4 years. And then, as things will have them, we started brainstorming about Ribi, my partner and I, Boy. And then Boy introduced me to, at the time, it was called Garden Institute of Business and Entrepreneurship. Today it's called Greenhouse Labs, which is run by, which is one of the offshoots of Venture Garden Group, and Demorin and Demolido. And, funny thing, during the program, I got to meet Bumi and Kumi, the founders, and they're like, hey, Salami, exciting stuff you want to do with Ribi. I mean, at that time, you couldn't do card on file, right? Our app then called Ribi Savers app. The idea is that you come in there and say, I want to get married at a social date, and then you start saving for that marriage or that car. But guess what? We were telling people to upload the bank statement because there was no card on file. You couldn't take money from anybody's API. There was no API, no Paystack, no Flutterwave, nothing. You think I'm talking about 2002? No, I'm talking about 2013, December 2013. No, December 2012 to December 2013. Nothing like that until Uber and Co came. And everyone was like, oh, come and work for Ribi, and come and help us. There's this project we're launching. If we have about 6 months, come and spend some time with us. 6 months became 3.5 to 4 years. Long story short, but that was the cap. That was an absolutely phenomenal experience. I went from, having done maybe 2 months of study in anything relating to the power sector to actually deploying automated meter reading systems across the entire national grid of the entire country.
Wow.
Yes, to building a geographic information system that shows you all the 330, all those high-rise, all those, all those long high-tension transmission lines you see across the country, building a geographic information or upgrading the existing geographic information system that manage them and sort of digitizing the entire power system, the wholesale level. That was the objective. We went from, we took collections and distribution of funds. So you collect from the discos and you pay to the generation companies, transition service providers, and so on. We took that from 3 weeks to 3 days in 6 months. Wow. The payment cycle used to take 3 weeks, every month, every cycle. We took it down to 3 days in a 6-month project. So, exciting stuff. Eco Disco, how do we help them, support their infrastructure using technology, using data, automating their payment collection and things like that. And then I did that. It was quite exciting. And then, of course, contributed to a few other parts of the Venture Garden Group business. But I learned fantastically so much from Bumi and Kumi. So that's my journey. And then finally started Ribi in 2016. And then, we're here now.
Just a quick question. You had the dream of Ribi before you joined Venture Garden Group. Had you started anything with Ribi?
Yeah.
Beautiful. So that brings my question.
Yes, 2012, 2013.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
So that brings my next question. So 3 things I've learned from you, and I like people watching, and you're an entrepreneur, whether you're a staffer, whether you're anybody, just try to learn from these things. Networking. You spoke about how you connected with different people, learned different things from different people, and I've seen Salami today. Salami walks into the presidency as if he owns the place. Like the gods to, you know, do certain things. I mean, this is a story that happened. There were issues with, you know, the team that were going to China and the visa and all that. Salami took up, went straight. Okay, how are we going to do this? How are we going to do that? And you took up the whole thing. That is courage. That is, you know, how do you?
Sorry, can you take that again?
Hello.
I lost the connection a bit.
Okay, so I'm saying the courage, because you walk into the president as if you own the place. I've seen you, you know, when we had issues with, you know, going to China and visa and all that, you took up and said, no, you know what, let's do this together. Let's do this. Call the China embassy, call this one, call that one. You know, like, what gives you that guts to feel that, yes, you are running an SME, but you're talking to, you know, the biggest of the largest people, as if they are your buddies, as if they are your, you know, how can you teach that to people watching today? How can you remove that fear? Like, a lot of people are so afraid. The president is saying I should come. Hey, what do I do? How do I, you know, like, even a mere talking to me, like, oh, senior called me, and you see the excitement and like the fear of, how do you overcome that fear as an entrepreneur, that you went into a business full-heartedly, like, I can do this?
So I hope you can hear me clearly, Simeon.
Yes.
So I mean, interestingly, it's the same principles over and over again. It's your 10,000 hours, right? It's your practice. It's your practice makes perfect.
Oh, we lost you. Okay, go ahead. We've got you back. Hello.
Okay, yeah, am I back?
Yeah, you're back.
Okay, great. So, like I was saying, it's the same principle of practice makes perfect, and you have to start. You have to put yourself in the shoes of. I'm trying to think about. Put yourself in the shoes of David, when David was going. I've forgotten the particular thing that David said in the scriptures, but to paraphrase him, he said, you know, you be just like the bear and the lion. You're just one big human being. There's no difference between you and the bear and the lion. So the moment you begin to do that, you begin to extrapolate those kind of thoughts and you begin to practice them. And it takes practice. It's not, you don't wake up and automatically become it, right? You know, I remember, of course, fidgeting, going into the room with the CEO of a big company, or the governor of a state, or the minister, or the permanent secretary for the first 10 times. Bros, I just sweat. No, it's not a joke. And the reason is because you're not familiar with it. You're not used to it. And that's the difference between, a lot of the time, that's some of the difference between the rich people and people that didn't grow up from a rich background. The rich people already expose their kids to these things. So the guy is not proud. He just doesn't know the difference between sitting with his father on the dinner table and sitting with the president, or sitting with the governor, or sitting with the CEO, or sitting with the minister. He does that all the time. He's used to doing it. There's no difference. So you need to look for the opportunities to go and sit down in those rooms. It's not until it's become your own company. My bosses in the past, especially my last 8 years in working for a company, they trusted my ability to go and represent them. When I was in the media industry, this was 2013, between 2011 and 2012. I was in my mid-20s. No, early 20s, not even mid-20s, 10 years ago. My boss at the time said, Salami, go and represent us on the committee of creative industry, something, Project Act, project for advancing the creative clinical industry.
I mean,
$3 billion fund. Guess who chaired that committee? Guess who was the chair of that committee?
I can guess.
Madam Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala.
Okay.
She was the chair of the committee, no jokes. So I was literally sitting a few seats across from the minister. That was the first time ever I was sitting across the minister, but I had no problems, interacting with her. And I'm sure she was just only one. Of course, I was the youngest person in the room. Who is this? Is this? I have beards now. I didn't even have beards then. I used to use glasses so that people would think I'm serious and wear suit and wear tie. She was like, who is this young boy? Interesting. And I was selected to be on the 7-man subcommittee to design the framework for the distribution for a 2 billion naira fund to support the distribution industry for the media industry. Now, my point there is that when you show competence and dedication and you put yourself in the right places, you get the opportunity to build that strength, to build the rapport. It was built over years. Over years. It started back in Ife when I would go in front of my class and I'll go and be making an announcement that nobody sent me. I was not class rep. Nobody sent me. That was my own public, what do you call that thing? Public speaking practice. Sometimes I would not even hear myself in front of the class.
Just talk.
When you are doing public speaking, when your heart is pounding, the rate at which your heart is beating. I don't even know if you. So for people say, did you hear me say, Salami, what were you doing there? Were you doing gestures? We couldn't hear anything now. I said, it's true. Even me, I couldn't hear myself. But I was speaking. But for as the days and the months and the years go by, you start picking up something, and you can learn these things. You can learn it from books, you can learn it from videos, you can watch other people, you can join Toastmasters, for example, to learn how to speak in a large crowd. There are a lot of places to learn these things. You can give yourself the all. Look for the right places to work, the right people to work for that fits into where you want to go. If you want to be a developer, bros, don't go and be learning public speaking now. What if concern developer, concern public speaking, or concerning sales? Go and be learning the expert profession, how to be a systems architect, how to, data science, learn all sorts of things. So again, it's the 10,000 hours. There's no other way. The 10,000 hours of the things that you want to be.
Just be
So you need
practicing.
to know the things that you want to be, and you need to put in your 10,000 hours. That's the beginning. So it wasn't magical. I didn't, till my policy passed, I did not go to meeting with minister with him. I don't even think he knew any minister in his lifetime. His $1 million was his multi-million naira, business or whatever that he had was selling cars and doing real estate and hustling in Egbeda. That Alimosho local government.
Yeah.
Almost outside Lagos.
Lagos,
So
yeah.
I didn't know any minister. I didn't know the CEO of any bank. Nothing. It literally just have to, what are the things that I need to do, and how do you, that was it, Simeon.
I mean, guys, you've heard it all from Salami. I mean, testimonies are just abound on my comment line. Abolore is the correct guy. He's a sound guy. Salami's grit is amazing. Like, wonderful comments coming in show that Salami is just he's up there. He's not just anybody to joke. And guys, this is an opportunity to reach out to him, get more from him, send him DM, send him WhatsApp, send him whatever you can send, just so that you can learn from him. He's doing amazing work. Salami, you said something about, you started a dream, right? You had this really dream in your head. I'm going to build this fintech company. I'm going to help people do this. I'm going to solve this problem. Then you walked into venture garden groups, and it was as if you sidelined your dream just to get more practice or more training, or I mean, for me, it's a touch point. It's a learning curve for a lot of people out there that think that no, this thing I must take it to the promised land. Whether I'm dying or not, I must do it. Even if an opportunity comes to help me take me back to that path, I'm not gonna do it. I'm gonna focus on it because they say focus is focus. I must be focused, and all that. So how do you help my audience today? How do you help them? Because this video is going to be there for years, and I want people to be able to understand and learn from these things, even the unborn generation. How do you help people learn that, yes, I'm building this thing, but an opportunity can come and help me shape that what was your own idea? What was your take from that?
So Simeon, I think the key learning point. So I'm trying to adjust my camera so that I'm focused. My face is focused. I hope that's better.
Yeah.
So Let me put it this way. I haven't always had what I want or the support that I desired. And I think it was for a reason. I think it's for people out there that will not, it's for days like this where we will tell these stories. So I wanted to do medicine. My elder brother, who is a medical doctor now, he moved to Canada like 12 years ago. Don't worry, it's not the new generation of people that ran away to Canada. But after what Nigeria showed him, the pepper Nigeria showed him, he spent 10 years in medical school in Nigeria. So he was just tired of the country, just left. But he didn't want to study medicine. My brother was watching CNN in 1998. Can you imagine? 1997. Who does that before he got into university? I mean, yeah, they wake up the 6:30 a.m. I don't know if you used to watch Biker Mice.
Exactly now.
Now, cartoon men won't go watch Biker Mice. Bros go just put the thing for CNN. And we just look like this. And we just vex for my mind. He loved computers. He wanted to go and study computer science. But my dad was like, no, my son, my sharpest son. Now medicine, doctor ni wama je, doctor na mama kwe. Now so my papa push and go do medicine. Anyway, I think he loves it and he's doing fantastically well now. And then I wanted to do medicine. I'm like, Popsy, medicine, He's like, oh, you got that for Judy, you can't see what your brother is going through. So sorry, no, you're not doing medicine. You can go and do computer science, go and do anyone you like. And he's a very supportive father. He was thinking, but that was not what I wanted. Anyways, maybe the spirit was revealing something to him. It would have been a waste of time if I had done medicine because I wasn't doing medicine to become a doctor. Remember, I told you I wanted to manufacture medical equipment. So my secondary school brain did not know what I really needed. What I needed is what I'm doing now. But my point there is I didn't really get the support I wanted, even from my own father. And that was a bad experience that I've come to learn in the future. And what that has taught me is that I am not your normal guy. I'm not your regular guy. I'm not going to follow that regular path that everybody thinks that people must follow. But nonetheless, I'm not going to give up. I will not give in. Whatever approach I need to take, I'm lucky that I've had that clarity of thought of where I'm going. Whatever approach I need to have, that clarity of thought to go where I want to go, I will go that way. So that was the same thing that happened in 2013. We were in this program, I was still working at Del York at the time, but luckily the program was holding in Lekki. I was living in Glover. You know that new Lekki Link Bridge? They had just built it that time. So I could just walk across the bridge in the evening, close from work. I took permission from my boss. I said, Oga, I'm going to be closing at 4 o'clock. And I've been a loyal employee for over 3 years. I was pretty much like the chief operating officer of the company. Even though that wasn't my title, I was head of business development, but I was in charge of everything. Salary, clients, product, everything. And we had a large team, of course, as a media company, from time to time, 20, 50 people plus. So I would walk across and go for classes and go back to my house. I was living in Glover and Ikoyi. Of course, accommodation provided by the company as well. And what then happened was that I wasn't making the progress I was, hoping to make in Ribi while I was going through the program, just, like 500 startup or any other program. But I was looking at the Venture Garden Group and, the amount of exciting stuff that VDG was doing, automating your fuel, measurement and payment fees for, about 15 different automation projects across the entire airport, the entire aviation industry in Nigeria. The same thing, automating e-learning. VDG built the first fully accredited e-learning program in Nigeria, meaning that you can get a BSc degree by using VDG's technology, VDG's tablet. So, I was just blown away. I'm like, but I said they know how they do this thing for here. I can learn here. And so when the opportunity came and Fumi, who is now CEO at VDG in 2013, sent out the broadcast, I'm like, Fumi, I don't mind though, I can help. I've written proposal for the power sector before. Like, you have even written proposal and we know your skill as an entrepreneur. Please, come and talk to the team. And that was it. And I'm like, okay, it's just 6 months now. It won't take so much time. But it was so exciting. Project was in Abuja. I was flying to Abuja every Monday, fly back on Friday because it was most convenient. The stuff we were doing was just so exciting. Like, we were taking requirements, gathering from the client. Of course, I didn't know what an incomer feeder is, incomer meter. An incomer was or a feeder was. Incomer is what brings the power from the grid, and feeder is the one that feeds it to the distribution point, like the one that comes to your house. I didn't know any of those things. It took me 6 to 9 months to learn those things. Chooks, my wonderful friend, he was just using me to catch tips throughout the entire process. But in 9 months, I could almost tell you about power systems and the way the entire infrastructure in Nigeria works. But at that time, I was also learning significantly how to design product requirements, how to take customer requirements, how to do enterprise sales. I was discussing with literally the entire spectrum of the power sector. I built with, well, not me, like we had a team of VDD was a team of about 200 people, but I was the finally became the lead person for the team. We built a command center with 10 zero bezel screens and 14 extra screens. That's like, all these big command centers, like the one in Alibaba, the big screens, and on the left you can see the national grid. Of course, it was the minister that came to open the center. It was just so exciting. The first 6 months, I was just blown away. So I'm like, I just got glued, and I was learning a lot. The money wasn't bad, right? I was on a very exciting relationship with the founders of the company, but I was delivering exceptional results, right? Most people just see me show up in the company and they're like, who is this Salami guy? He doesn't come to the office. I was at the client side, Now, wow, they didn't understand what was going on. But all that while I was learning, I was, of course, able to continue my Ruby on the side. I was using my income to fund Ruby on the side, and doing a lot of discovery. 2 years after that, we had built a product, or we had, been able to come up with a few things that was useful. I didn't have any seed funding. I didn't want to take anybody's money without knowing how I'm going to give them their money back. So I'd rather go and sweat it out, use the money to build my product. But bros, at the end of my first year in BDD, I was the best product manager. But I was the best project manager. But as far as I'm concerned, I was a horrible project manager. But what was I good at? Bros, if you tell me this is the objective, now to pull me back, if the objective has changed, because I be bulldog. There was a guy at the transmission. So I was working from the transmission company of Nigeria, the NEPA headquarters, for about 18 months. There was a guy there, his name is Joshua. He would just look at me and say, the guy is always amazed. He's like, this young guy. Bros, I was young. It was like 7 years ago or 6 years ago. I'm just 30 something now. So imagine what I was then. And I wasn't married, so I didn't have body. See me now, married after 4 years. See as I be. The guy would just be looking at me and say, how did you get this job? You must be a driver. I'm like, what's this guy talking about? Do I look like a driver to you? Can't you see me inside the office? Do you see me driving car? Like, no. Of course, I knew I knew it wasn't meaning that, but I wasn't clear. Like, you must be somebody that drives results. Like, you just push to the result. I'm like, okay, if not that one, I know they play with that one. I know where I'm going. So that was it for me. And it wasn't deliberate that I was going to set aside me for that long, but I was just learning too much. And, I wanted to soak as much as I could. Soak as much as I could. And I think I successfully did that. And it was a fantastic learning experience from Kumi, learned sales, learned stakeholder relation. Kumi doesn't carry a laptop. And I know I shouldn't be saying these things in the public. The number one sales guy in BGG, his job is not, like, you need to understand preference. Kumi's job is to sell you the right solution. That's his job. Bumi's job is to get it delivered. Kumi is managing partner, Bumi is CEO. Bumi is the tech, Bumi is
the crazy
and
guy.
They both studied in the US. Kumi is the crazy guy, actually. Bumi is the calm guy. Kumi will sell you the sand under your feet in the desert. You raise your leg up, Kumi will pack the sand under your feet and say, bros, this is the sand you should buy. The two of them are there inside desert. And he wasn't selling you fake stuff. The passion, the strength. Bumi and Kumi will go 21 hours on a regular day. Kumi's meetings start at 7 p.m., end at 3 a.m. I've had a meeting in Bumi's house before at 1 a.m. It wasn't a coincidence. That was the time of the meeting in his house. 1 a.m., bros.
If you tell that to entrepreneur, to staff, they will go like, me? Why? Am I not this? Am I not? And that brings me to my next question. How do you bring passion onto? I mean, entrepreneurial passion is understandable. How do you bring it to staffers? because some are entrepreneurs, some are never going to start up their own business. But how do you drive the same passion you drove, working at VGG? It's the same passion you're doing with Ruby. How do you, as an employee,
As a person, get that kind of passion to make things work? I mean, somebody puts that here, and I'm going to put that on Marble. Know what you want to be and put in your 10,000 hours. Salami, Abolore. So I'm going to put that on Marble. Now, how do you do that? How do you how do you get aggressively passionate about what you're doing as an employee or as a person? So this is the interesting part. Sorry, let me put on my air conditioner. The thing is getting very hot. So let me.
Yeah. So is it ability or ability?
No, it's not ability. This is one of those things where it is not ability and it is not ability. I don't even know what it is called, but this is what it is. It's discovery. It's self. You have to find it. Awari, yes, that's the one. Maybe that's the Yoruba term for it. You have to find it. You see, when you find yourself, it's like pastors that God called and the one that called themselves for God. The pastor that called himself, after 3 years, his ministry is not working, bros, go buy that for. But the one that God called, it doesn't matter. It's like Saul, yes, the story of Saul and Paul in the Bible. The guy was a freaking persecutor. He was killing Christians. The same passion he used to drive the killing of Christians. God saw that and said, "Now the person we will define with this now. This is the guy that we're looking for." So Saul wasn't born. There was no script. I don't know if there was any scripture about Paul. There was even scripture about John the Baptist, the coming of John the Baptist. I have not seen any about Paul. Yet my pastor tells me he wrote 2/3 of the Second Testament. Why? He had given himself to a resolve that there's a spiritual force behind everything, and that power is more important than anything else, and that everything must be in alignment to that power. It's like Adolf Hitler or Elon Musk. I'm not saying me. I'm putting myself in their category. I'm just saying that you need to get to that point where when you find your resolve, when you have a clear, this is where I'm going, this is who I want to be, this is what I want to be. Everything else falls like leaf. The mountains will become like an ant or a molehill. You will forge your way through. You will bulldoze anything. I found mine in my SS2 class, SS1 going to SS2. Before that time, I was just a regular student. Not to play ball. I be footballer. I was the captain of my class. At GSS3, we were beating. SS3 refused to play with us because we had beaten the entire school. We beat GS1, beat GS2. Even when we play ourselves, we beat ourselves. Beat SS1, beat SS2. When it became time for SS3, he said, "You even want to disgrace us? We are not doing." That was what I was. My own, I just football. By the time I was going to SS2, I'm like, I started thinking, I'm like, okay, I think it was the woman that caused that one. There was one fine babe in my class, and we knew each other before. Next thing, she no agree for me. It wasn't anything, SS1, this crush, secondary school thing. Next thing, I'm like, what can I do in return? Okay, she's the second position in class. I must be the first position.
Wow.
Something like that. And then that resolve just came. And then I started reading in the midnight. Of course, there were other things. And then I will get home early, sleep, wake up at 11 p.m. My dad, he loved those kind of things. He said, "Please make sure Lore's food." My name is Abolore, actually. Salami is my surname, but I make people call me Salami. My dad will say, "Make sure Lore's food is on the table. He will wake up in the night to read." That resolve, till today, it hasn't left me. And so when you combine that personal resolve and that resolution that I want to achieve my objectives, I want to achieve my result. When you combine it with a clear mission of where you are going, bros, nothing will stop you. I have people on my team today, people like Okwe, Ariyo. He joined the company last year. Bros, we have promoted him like 3 times in 1 year. Just because, funny thing is a fantastic guy. The way when you promote somebody like that, people will start beefing him. But I don't know anybody that beefs Okwe because he just has a fantastic relationship with people. This guy, if I tell you how much we hired him for compared to what he's earning now, like 3 times. But my point is that what is the reason? He had this same spirit. It's clear, he's personally motivated. He knows where he's going. It's not because Salami is nice to him or Salami knows him before. It was my partner. I was person that knew him before. He was working in First Bank. He was part of the team that rolled out First Bank's mobile wallet, First Money in 2012. But he had built all that experience. In fact, Tosin said that when he was at First Bank, he had a very bad attitude. But he had now built a sense of resolve, a clarity of purpose. So when a person says, I want to do it, there's no story. I'll let you ask your next question because you can go on this one point for long.
Guys, please, I need your questions now. So you can start throwing in your questions. Salami still has about 15 more minutes to run off. So please ask. Everybody's just enjoying it. Everybody's putting off stuff. Find your resolve, your purpose, and everything else falls into place. Salami Abolore. Salami is a freaking narrative storyteller. Learn. Discover your passion. Drive. My next question, Salami. Do you think that we can change the narrative? So let me explain this. When I came to America, it was they invite me now, write me letter, come to America, come and do this. And I got to America. I saw a lot of people having issues, like because of the color of your skin, or because you're African, or because you're even Nigerian. There's this segregation. Do you understand? So it's a problem that people try and keep quiet about, and that's one of the resolve I had to, start this program where I need to show. I got friends, and I have Salami, I have, Shola, I have different people that are doing amazing stuff, but we seem not to be talking about them. We're talking about people that are, messing up the name of the country and doing other things. Do you think, and how can we actually change this narrative? The reason I'm asking you this is because you've been in media, you've been, in power, you've been in different, different sectors. How can we actually, the little number of us in this same ecosystem, how can we change the narrative?
I think there are 2 things. Number one is we're already on the path. We're already doing the right things. Fantastic stories. I'm impressed by a lot of companies in the tech sector. I'm more impressed by companies that put money in people's pockets. Companies like Thrive Agri, Uka, our guy, and Ayo. I'm impressed by, Baba Gona and all of those companies in the agro sector, now new companies in the transport sector. I'm impressed by the likes of people like Oluomo and URTW. Now, there are always good and bad sides, but when was the last time you heard that Agberos are fighting, but like compared to the way it used to be back in the days? Anyways, let me not go into those topics. My point here is we're already on the path, but we need to scale everything to a factor of 1,000. We need to diminish the bad things. The bad things like people, we grew up with too much of Rambo and Commando and Chuck Norris and James Bond 007, thinking that one guy can just Van Damme, Jean-Claude Van Damme.
Change the world.
That one guy will just show up and kickbox everybody and everything will fall in line. We're dreaming, it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. It's a system. I'm a microbiologist by training. I've always excelled academically. Doing all of this entrepreneurial stuff, I still finish with a 2-1 from OAU, Obafemi University. Go and research it. From microbiology, where I was spending 70% of my time reading business books and other things, and I still finish with 2-1. So I'm not that dull, and I have an MBA in finance. And I passed all my papers, even though everybody was saying, finance is hard. Sorry. You see, when in microbiology, you understand symbiosis, you understand parasitism, you understand chemical pathways, the fact that one thing leads to the other, chain reaction. I did 8 chemistry courses in my second year, more chemistry courses than the chemistry major undergraduate. So I've studied a bit. And what I realized is that there's one thing leads to the other. But that's the problem we're having in Nigeria. We have broken value chains. We have broken systems. If we don't harmonize all of what we are trying to do, that we are doing now, to the scale of 1,000. For example, see some of the things that we have succeeded in doing in the telecom sector, in the financial services industry. We need to repeat it in every sector. The work that CBN is doing with agriculture. Agriculture is subsidized in many countries. It's treated like a national treasure. This electricity today is national cake. You people know. That's why it's not working. Anything that is national cake doesn't really work. Electricity is national cake. Petrol is national cake. Subsidy. Telecommunication is not national cake. Oh. You have your money, you call. You don't have your money, you keep short. So, but agriculture is one of those sectors that we need to treat like national cake. Imagine rice value chain, what we could do with rice. Imagine how many billionaires we can create.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, this thing starts. The next administration that will come now, they'll say, because Buhari did rice, we will not do rice. It's plantain we want to go and do. Anyways, let me not go there. My point is, we're already on the path. We need to scale those things we're doing right 1,000 times, and we need to diminish those bad things. One of those bad things we are all doing in this country as a people is assuming that one governor, one president, one minister, one CEO will save Nigeria. No, it will not happen. We need 1,000 Dangotes. Just the same way China, the US, and several other of those countries have created their country. Samsung is a monster in South Korea. It's not by mistake that they're a global power. They do almost everything. But here we're thinking how we're going to bring down Dangote. Good luck to you to do that anyways. And then number 2 is that we need to stop this, very tied to number 1, we need to stop this mentality of it has to be me too.
Mm-hmm.
Please, if you have the money, and it's not because I want to get rich quickly, I'm going to be rich. It's not either you like it or not. Except God say I should come back to heaven early. And I pray my children are already taken care of before that. I'm not going to be rich, either you like it or not. That one is not my problem. You know, it's like saying I'm refining crude oil, and you're asking me if I'm going to have petrol. Bros, now crude oil at the refiner, how am I not going to get petrol?
Yeah.
I said there's something wrong with my refinery. So I don't have a problem with being rich. So I'm not talking about that. I'm saying if you want to come and buy Ribi today, come and want to be majority shareholder, and you want to make me your employee, I will work for you. I don't have a problem with doing that. But do you understand that Ribi is designed as a company that wants to create prosperous communities in whatever thing we do? That's the singular objective. Ribi is from the word, it's a word, it's an acronym that means riches in Babylon for you. Designed around the book, The Richest Man in Babylon, which is the principle of how the Babylonians built a prosperous society, the most prosperous of their days. Following a principle that everybody in society can create wealth if certain principles were followed. Everybody can be prosperous. Everybody can own their own home. It's a principle. Now, that same principle means that we all need to say, how do I, Simeon is doing this, how do I introduce Simeon to investors? How do I, what can I do that supports Simeon's business? I understand, even me, I have those feelings. When I see somebody's app, savings app, they're bad, gone. How come we couldn't build something like this? You feel it now, you have blood running through your veins. But we need to stop that whole, I have to be the one to succeed. The other person, we need to help each other grow. And that's one of the biggest things that is lacking in our tech industry. Everybody wants to be James Bond on $10 million.
I mean, that brings me to my next
Everybody wants to be the rock star. We're the one driving the ecosystem. One unicorn in 20 years. And all of us want to do and see what that the owner of the world.
Let me go to my next comment. Roy, you say you have a question. Please push your question through. Salami has very short time with us. So, I mean, I was talking to 500 the other day. I'm going to be setting up this community because they are really, really looking at investing in Africa. And I'm going to set up a lot of my friends to, have a conversation with the 500 team to try and get to that next level. So I'm going to be inviting you very, very soon. So please make yourself available for that program. They want to invest. They are looking for where to put their money. So I need to show them the best of Africa, of Nigeria and Africa, actually.
Good stuff.
Yeah. So, so my last question before you leave is, and if you can do this in a very short time, so that we don't have to keep you here for long. Seeing China, I mean, I know you've been to China, and I know you have a lot of stories to tell from there. What can we borrow? How can we use China as a learning curve? I don't know the goods of China. How can we make it a learning curve and help you grow Nigeria? I understand about the value broken chains, the broken value chain. I understand about everything you've said, but where can we borrow? Let's see, what can we copy? Let's even assume that we can't do it ourselves. Where can we copy from? Where do you think is the best place for us to copy? And hold it there. There's a question coming through. It's not a question. Okay, so it's not a question. So I'll wait for the question.
Yeah, sure.
So
you want me to go?
Yeah, go ahead.
So number one, we can't even copy. We're a bad system. How do I put this? Somebody that go and dub people's name. When you do exam or person they copy, you go copy the name join.
Oh, sorry. Just 1 second. Oh, so that's the question. The question is, he wants to make you a cake. You've actually made his day. So he's saying, can he make you as a gift, maybe on behalf of everyone, allow me make you out a cake for my appreciation of this session. So yeah, he's making a cake for you.
Oh, so okay. Thank you, Roy. I appreciate it. My wife loves cake.
Okay, so yeah, go ahead.
Finally. Yeah, thank you, Roy. I appreciate it. Thank you very much, guys. So like I said, no, we cannot copy. We don't know how to copy. You are Simeon, you are China, I'm Salami, I'm Nigeria. If I try to copy, I will copy your name and say I'm now Simeon. That's how we copy in Nigeria. We don't know how to copy. So let's not even try to copy. We will copy rubbish. Number one. No, we don't know how to copy now. What have we copied successfully? Tell me one thing that we have copied successfully.
I agree with you.
Consistently, just sometimes you copy, you get 10 over 100. That's not copy now. That one a dollar, like waste of money. Someone that you are not supposed to even send to school. Actually, it's the fault of the parent also, and the fault of a broken system not finding the best way to discover the potential of a talent. School is not the only way, or there are different ways to learn. Not necessarily. Anyway, there are 2 systems that work as far as I am concerned in China. 3 systems actually. There's the government system, which they've been able to perfect. We don't have that luxury. We don't have that privilege in Nigeria. We don't have a government system that works. It's not about Buhari or Shibajo or Jonathan or Chief Olusegun. It's not that. We don't have a system that works. The system today does not work. So that one we have, maybe next 20, 30 years, we can start getting that one right. But we're growing in it. There's repetition in the election. I saw a chart today. I can't present, Abi?
Yeah, you can.
I'll send you something.
Just go to comment and make the comment. It will present it.
Comment. That's chat?
Yes.
Okay. What do I?
Just. Oh, you want to present your screen, you mean?
Yes, I want to present my screen. But don't worry, I can talk through it. There's a chart I saw this afternoon. It showed our Nigeria's income, oil versus non-oil income. Bros, Nigeria has made more money between 2001 or let's say 1999 to 2019, those 20 years, we have made like 3 or 4 times what we have made throughout the entire history of Nigeria, just by looking at that chart. So why are we still now thinking that military era was what destroyed Nigeria? All of those 20 years were democratic era. Oil at record high, all of that money. Where is the money? We know where it has. We all know where it has ended up. The New York people, Hush Puppy, and the rest of them. You know the New York people, Abi, and then Hush Puppy joined them. But I won't say. It's not from my mouth. You hear that the dog stole the bone. So that is not working. The second thing that works, and for you to understand what I mean by that, remember Neil. Oh, it's not. It was my wonderful friend, your lovely, wonderful wife, Madonna, that will remember. So Neil, Madonna will not remember actually, but Neil, okay, she remember. Neil was telling us a story of him growing up in the early days of China, and how since he grew up in his village, they started building road. The road reduced the time of travel, Simeon, from 2 hours to 30 minutes. But that's not what is even important. What is important is that he said that road construction has not ceased for 1 day since that time to now in China. It's not pay, what's the allocation for next year? It's a standing allocation. They must keep expanding the road network. For decades, that has continued. The cost of transporting, Alibaba was telling us, the cost of transporting a product for 4,500 kilometers, just so you understand what I'm talking about. The distance between here and Ibadan, I usually know because I used to travel Lagos, Ibadan, Ife. The distance between here and Ibadan is like 150 kilometers. So you imagine what 4,500 kilometers is. It's like $3 for one kg of parcel. That is the exact same cost of moving 5 kg of meat from Yaba to Lekki. That's like 20 kilometers. Compare that to 4,500 kilometers. So you see why, let's not put our mind here. That government system is not working yet. Probably another 20, 30 years before it start working. The second thing that worked in China is the old generation industrial bank era. So, you know, the construction bank of China, the biggest banks in the world now are Chinese banks, right? The biggest bank in Africa, as I hear, which is Standard Bank in South Africa, is also majority owned by a Chinese bank.
Yeah.
So that huge industrial era, but with strong government control that made it liberal to create companies like Alibaba. And then the third is that the new generation of companies like Alibaba, Alipay, Tencent, you know, and so on and so forth. And you don't understand. I'm already doing too much, Simeon. I don't say this often, and it's not exciting. It's not because I want it to sound exciting. It's just what I'm made for. But I constrain it by only talking about Ruby in public. I've actually created 8 companies in the last 4 years. 8. Not me alone, no, me and my partners. One of those companies is into housing. 2 years to get it off the ground, but now we have 8 units of 3-bedroom flats going for about $100,000 each in Sabo Yaba. I'm not the one running the business. I just love creating companies because they solve. I see them as, to me, one company is like a vaccine to a disease. So it's like vaccine for corona, one company. Vaccine for malaria, another company. Fertilizer for cassava, one company. So that's why it's 8, you know, because I don't like complicating things. Or, well, let me say I participated in creating 8 companies. And I just told you one of them, their first project is $1 million project. But it took 2 years to create. What's my point? My point here is that, and that's what I'm going to be doing for a long time, not being CEO of a company. I'm going to retire very soon from being CEO of any company and just be working for all the companies that I can come and work for. Thank you, Kat, Connected Analytics for free for 1 year. Just make sure you give me a very nice compensation package. And trust me, I'm sure you know it was worth it. And that's what I want to do every year. It's not about running a company. That's not my mission. My mission is seeing 1,000 companies solving fantastic problems. And that's the other area that we need to see a lot of results. Where are those new generation companies, the new generation solution providers, the new generation creators that are going to solve those strategic problems? Who is going to go and create a company that will fix the Nigerian police system? Go and work in the biggest, military. People don't know that you can create a military company.
Yeah.
Bro, so now oil money, I can't say too much. I've seen it before. It's also, you don't talk about them in the public. I've worked for one briefly for like 8 months. I can't even mention the name. But bros, one anti-bomb equipment alone is like $1 million. Go and work for a company like that. And then hire software developers. Tell the company, please just give me a budget of $200,000 a year. No problem. That's small chicken change for a real security company. And tell them that you're going to be building solutions that you guys are going to be deploying to the Nigerian police for free. Nigerian police have a lot of physical assets, a lot of real estate. Who is going to go into the Nigerian police and solve the problem of the Nigerian police system? We're waiting for the Nigerian police to fix its own problem. We're waiting for the Nigerian medical system to fix its own problem, or we must become the entrepreneur that will take the glory before we fix that problem. We need to leave glory. I think people are too worried about glory. They are less worried about what is important. And for me, what is important is 2 things. A system, a country that works. Number 1, if you build something that works, bros, you will make money. So forget glory now. Glory will follow you.
Definitely.
So I think that depth of what problem am I going to solve? I have the Nigerian footwear now that I wear called Kicks. Literally like your van.
I have 2 Kicks.
The first day I saw it, I bought 3. Straight, no questions.
You're beating me up. Lovely.
I said, let me just test it. Guess what? I knew someone that knows the founder and said when the founder wanted to start, she said, you're not serious, the way you're going about it. And then she saw me wear it for the first time. She was like, these guys have launched too. That's the story that we should be telling. So for me, I think those are those 3 dynamics. And I think that unfortunately, we need to try to fix the number 1, which is a governance system. It's like having a board that doesn't function, or you cannot raise capital. Your business might not succeed. If you don't have the right governance system, today you are banning Okada, without literally contributing. And don't get me wrong, I'm not against the government for that decision. I'm saying, tomorrow you're introducing licensing fee for logistics companies. What exactly have you done to allow logistics companies to thrive? All you just want to do is bring toll gates. Local government will come and say agent must now pay 600 naira per week or something. But so
I mean, we can
investing in fixing systems that work.
Yeah.
Investing in fixing systems that work for me is more important than I want to be the one on connect with Simeon next week.
Yeah. Thank you very much. You've done justice to a lot of questions that we've had, and a lot of people. Guys, I'm going to try and edit this video, make it in short bits, and pump it, all over the internet so that you can hear, the real hustle from a real entrepreneur, a real, professional. Salami, you've been wonderful. Thank you very much. I've spoken to you a lot of times. We're friends, we're pals. You have a speed dial you are speed dial with my partner, and and she talks about you a lot about what you guys discuss, and your vision, and I'm like, no, we keep Salami for later. Salami is not coming from the beginning. We need Salami, when it is important. Very, very insightful. Thank you very, very much. You've really done justice to a lot of things, and trust me, I'm going to be breaking this video into pieces, and I'm going to be churning it out, minute by minute, and getting people to understand that we can change Nigeria together. Thank you very, very much, guys. Salami is about to leave the studio. Please, want to hit Salami. Salami is your email.
I think Twitter is easier at Salami.
Twitter.
At Abolore Salami.
at Abolore
At
Salami. That's his Twitter
Please
account.
support.
Go to his Twitter, like him, follow him, bombard him, learn from him. This guy is loaded. Guys, I am not joking. You know, when Simeon says somebody is loaded, I am telling you he's loaded. You know, so know that he's loaded. And thank you. And one fun fact: I actually designed and built Project Acknowledgewood for Okonjo-Iweala. It was one of my biggest. After You Win, actually, I built You Win. She saw it and called me back and said, "Can you do something for the for Nollywood?" And I said, yeah, I could do something. So I brought up the framework and sent it to her, and she approved it. And that was what became Nollywood.
Fantastic. Nice one.
Just fun fact.
See connection going back 10 years.
Exactly. So thank you very much for coming. Thank you. It's time for my freebie. Thanks, Salami. God bless you. I'm going to be kicking you out of my
Thank you for having me.
Thanks very much. Yeah.
Thank you. Bye.
Yeah, bye. That was Salami and Abolore, and I am sure you guys enjoyed yourself. Like, the guy is loaded. Like, I don't know why they would tell me about hush puppy and people stealing here and there when we have people like Salami in the same ecosystem. Salami is going to be available. I mean, he's like on my phone. I can call him anytime. So if you want to get any insights, he's very busy, but you want questions answered, you want to get his take on things, send me an email. I'll connect you guys. Connect with Simeon@gmail.com, and I'll connect you guys, and he will be able to answer your questions. I'm also going to be trying to bring him in to try and help mentor some of us out there, because we need to start mentoring the upcoming generation. So maybe one or two people will be chosen to be mentored by Salami. Salami is a great guy, like you've all heard. You can talk for hours because he is exceptional, and he has an answer for most of the problems that we face here in the country. Yes, and that takes me to my freebie. So if you have your phone, I'm giving out 10 free lunch from Coffee Hut. Now, if you have your phone, if you're a staff of Connected Analytics and you try this, I'll take your salary. Now, go to Thank You Cash app, go to buy products. If you can't find Coffee Hut because it's not close to you, go to view more and go to show more and type Coffee Hut, or just push Coffee Hut. You will see the special launch from Connect with Simeon, the first one there. For ₦5, you get lunch worth $2,100, all paid by this show. For ₦5, you would get 2,100 chicken wrap special. Do it right now, and you would get it. First 10 lucky people. If you are in VI Koyi Lekki, first 10 lucky people get free lunch on me on this show. Do it right now, and it will be delivered to you by tomorrow. God bless you. Thank you, guys. Don't forget the ambassadors program is still working. It's still happening. You can still register as an ambassador and earn up to 200,000 naira monthly. Go to Thank You Cash app, download. You see lovely merchants. Mirror Pass is one supermarket that just launched on Thank You Cash app. We have go to library to find different studies from Dave Partner. If you don't remember Dave Partner, he was here on our show, and he has been training globally, and you can get discounts up to 90% discounts on different things: how to become a web developer, how to write codes, how to grow your YouTube channel, how to become valuable, software courses for absolute beginners for just $10,000. You get a lot of things. Just go to library on the Thank You Cash app, buy now, go to library, and you'll see that. So till I see you next week, this is me saying goodbye. I'll see you on Friday. Don't forget, 5 p.m. I'm going to be seeing you. I'm going to be having a lovely guest in. So just stay tuned. Thank you very much for being part of the show. Ciao.
look around you. Where you are right now, you're watching this, look around your house. There are tools you have you're not using that can actually take a whole lot of funds.
Forget about what people are saying. Don't listen to what people are. Don't people say about you, think about it. None of your business.
Many entrepreneurs want to build a business at the same time feed from the business. It cannot work. In Lagos,
but you just get to do something. Stop waiting for the manna to fall from heaven.
never you at any point think you have 100% strength. It's not possible. So as a leader, you focus on your strength 100%, then your weakness, you get someone to fill it in. Now, the person you are bringing in, ensure that the person's weakness is your strength.
You have to come with something to the table. So what are you coming with as a woman? What are you bringing? Is it your intellect? Is it your beauty? You all know that beauty doesn't help anybody. If not, I'll be where Dangote is today.
Please, if you are listening to me, don't try and sell what is not sellable if you don't have the funds to push it.
Thank you for connecting with Simeon Ononobi today. Live sessions hold every Tuesday and Friday at 5 p.m. Please turn on post notifications for live updates.